This is the same reason why you don't let Pfizer advertise on your show, because once they control your salary, they control your speech. And what's happening is we're so beholden to China and its dollars, or, its yen, whatever, that we bend the knee when they call us up and say, don't put that in your movie. We don't want to see that patch or that poster or that messaging. And Hollywood has bent the knee. And now you're saying this is happening when it comes to speech on university campuses. And instead of having a very strong instinct of saying, forgive me, but fuck off. This is the United States of America. We're doing it. We're going along with it.
Yeah, no, and that's one of the reasons why I think we should all be concerned about this unreviewable power that the Secretary of State has to kick out anyone who, in the sole opinion of the Secretary of State, is adverse to foreign policy.
Let's talk about that, because I've defended that. I've defended that, and I know we're in disagreement a bit on this, but I really want to hear your argument.
Well, let's take the Graham Linehan case. Graham Linehan, he said some anti-trans activist things, and you can imagine under a future AOC, administration, there would be people in her administration who's like, we should return this person to be prosecuted in the UK for his transphobic things that he said. And under the law as it currently stands, the Secretary of State under that administration could kick that person out of the country without any review whatsoever. It's the reason why Trump's own sister, when asked to review that portion of regulations that gives that power to Secretary of State, said it was unconstitutionally vague and broad.
So, but I mean, I guess I don't totally understand the analogy, because Marco Rubio is looking at these Hamas-loving college campus students saying, when you say things like globalize the intifada, that is not consistent with the foreign policy of the United States, which recognizes Hamas as a terrorist group. And you're only here on a visitor's pass. And so it's like having somebody over for dinner. You came over, you got drunk, you barfed on my brand new living room carpet. So you're out. Your visitor's pass is revoked. Like, why is that not okay when they're just here as visitors? And he should be wary of visitors coming over here and antagonizing Americans and others with speech that goes against what we've stated as a policy that we support, which is keeping terrorists out and opposing terrorism.
But when it comes, it's the exact same principle of the Graham Linehan case. Like, essentially, he came to the United States because he was afraid he was going to get arrested in the UK for his trans-critical speech. And future administrations are probably, going to say things like, "It is the policy of this administration that we support trans rights and." Well,
that's a domestic policy. But don't you think foreign policy is something that's uniquely within the control of the executive branch?
But once you actually have a policy that's as vague and broad as the one the Secretary of State has, its potential for abuse is ripe. And once again, like so much so that the one person who's reviewed it, Trump's own sister, thought it went too far. So I'm saying that this is not a power you want to hand off to anybody else. And when it comes to the way it's actually been used, I mean, even Joe Rogan noticed this case. The Ramesa Ozturk case. This is she's a Muslim student. She was here on a student visa. She wrote an op-ed saying that Tufts should divest from Israel. Something I disagree with, to be clear. It wasn't crazy. It wasn't bomb throwing, and she was she was basically stuffed into a van by immigration people, like flown to Louisiana, and held more or less in jail for weeks until a judge said, no. And since you're a fellow lawyer, Megyn, there is a Supreme Court case on the books called Bridges v. Wixon that, of course, you can consider things like opinion and whether or not someone's suitable to get a visa in the first place. But once they're here, people who are here on a visa are supposed to have rights that are similar to ours under the First Amendment, under this 1945 case called Bridges v. Wixon.
I guess I just think when it comes to foreign policy and you're in the midst of supporting an ally who themselves are in the midst of a war, it does seem like the Secretary of State should have some power to say yay or nay on these visas that have been granted. And if it's based on ideology, I guess I'm fine with that. I see it as a much bigger deal if you go after an American citizen. If an American citizen tomorrow comes out and says, I support Hamas, I actually think Hamas is right, Israel sucks, that's fair game. You can say that, even if it's a terrorist organization. Marco Rubio cannot throw you out. He cannot do anything to you. It's just you're on much shakier ground when you really don't have a right to be here in the first place.
Well, I think of Jordan Peterson, who came to the U.S. partially because of his horrible treatment on this very same issue, by the way, in Canada. And the idea that we could just kick him out at any time, even though he's on a visa, because of speech that any other American could actually say, doesn't sit well with your civil libertarian.
Again, it's only with respect to foreign policy speech that goes against the foreign policy of the administration. So it's not some blanket, you can throw anybody out for any speech they make. It's a limited provision, and it isn't clear whether it's going to be upheld. I mean, it's been challenged. Yeah. It's working its way through the system on whether that permission slip to the Secretary of State is consistent with our First Amendment, and a lawyer smarter than yours truly will ultimately have to say on that, specifically 9 of them sitting in black robes, though I take it back because not each one of them is smarter than yours truly. a couple of them definitely are, though. Okay, well, I'm horrified by this Graham case. I can't wait to talk to him about it, and I'm still kind of shocked that it's even happening. When inflation jumps, when you hear the national debt is over $37 trillion, do you ever think maybe now would be a good time to buy some gold? Well, you'd be right. Whether as a hedge against inflation, peace of mind during global instability, or just for sensible diversification, Birch Gold Group believes every American should own physical gold. And so they created something special. Until September 30th, if you're a first-time gold buyer, Birch Gold is offering a rebate of up to $10,000 in free metals on qualifying purchases. To claim eligibility and start the process, request an info kit right now. Just text MK to 989898. Plus, Birch Gold can help you roll an existing IRA or 401k into an IRA in gold, and you're still eligible for a rebate in free metals of up to $10,000. So make right now your first time to buy gold and take advantage of a rebate up to $10,000 when you buy before September 30th. Text MK to the number 989898 to claim your eligibility and get your free info kit. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.